Hey guys, I hope you're having a wonderful day. In this video, we're going to be talking about why I think that the Hyundai Motor Group should release their Genesis luxury car brand in India as soon as possible. And if they do, why Genesis cars are going to do very well in India. And so without any further ado, let's get into the video. For those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Raghav Gupta and this is my lockdown series of videos in which I'm going to be keeping you entertained even in this hard time of this lockdown. So if you want to keep yourself entertained, I think pressing that red subscribe button down below is a really good option. And before we get into the video, there's one thing that if you're interested in only one or two segments of this video, there is a timestamp to every single thing in the description of this video, so do check that out. And so finally, with that said, let's move on to what Genesis actually is. So Genesis is actually a luxury car brand owned by Hyundai Motor Group. The Hyundai Motor Group comprises of mainly three main car manufacturers, that is first Kia Motors, Hyundai Motor Company obviously, and then Genesis. Now we all know that Kia and Hyundai Motor Company are one of the best car manufacturers when it comes to low-end or mid-range cars. But for the high-end luxury cars, Hyundai Motor Group then rolled out Genesis in November 2015. But that was only for a few set of countries. Now I think Hyundai should think of expanding this brand, and I think that there wouldn't be a better market than the Indian market. Let's jump into reasons why. So, reason number one. Now, in my opinion, the Indian market has changed vastly over the couple of years. Not only do people consider every single option, they are now open and giving a fair chance to all the newcomers into the market. And the best example for that is Kia Motors itself. Kia came into the Indian market with the Kia Seltos, and that car was such a great hit that it is considered as one of the best selling cars in 2019. And that says something, and that is the people in India are now giving a fair chance to all the new companies because they are considering every single option they have when they want to buy a car. And so all they look for is what the car is providing and at what price they're providing that for. And if they think that it's a good deal, they go for it. Now, generally speaking, when it comes to luxury cars in India, people have this mindset that if it is a luxury car that they want to buy, they only have three options. Number one, Audi. Number two, BMW. Number three, Mercedes. And they just get tangled up in all these companies that which car they should buy for the budget they have. But if there were a brand to come into India which was giving the same amount of luxury and the features for a lower price than these companies such as Audi, BMW and Mercedes, I think that it would be a really great hit in India. And now I come to reason number two. People generally say that the reason why Audi, BMW and Mercedes have really good sales in India and those are the luxury brands people want is because they have a brand value, and that there are other cars in the Indian market which are really nice, but still people just don't want to buy those cars because they won't get the brand value out of them. For example, Volkswagen has the Passat, Skoda has the Octavia or the Superb. But people generally don't go towards those cars and go towards BMW 3 Series or Mercedes C-Class or the Audi A4 or the Audi A3. Now, I'm not saying that Audis, Mercedes and BMWs are not good cars. They are wonderful cars. I mean, there is a reason why they have the brand value. But with brand value comes a certain expense that you need to pay. And people are ready to pay that expense. And yes, I totally agree with those people. It is the brand value that catches the eye for a lot of people. And the reason why I think that happens is because when it comes to companies like Volkswagen or Skoda, those are companies that cater to the whole market. Like they have cars that go from the low range, for example, the Volkswagen Polo, and go to the high range like the Volkswagen Passat. And so they cater to the whole market. But when it comes to companies like BMW, Audi or Mercedes, they are companies that only cater towards the high-end luxury cars. And so that's why they have that brand value. But when a company such as Genesis will come into India, that too will have a certain amount of brand value. That is because that is a company that only produces luxury cars and not the mid-range or the low-range cars. And so if we take in consideration that if a car has a certain amount of brand value, it also has features that are competing with its competition, and for all that it's charging a little bit of less money, I think that that car would do really well in the Indian market. And now we come to reason number 3. If we look at the trend of luxury cars in India, that has been increasing. Like, have a look at this graph over here. It's a graph of the amount of luxury cars sold from 2010 to 2019. And it clearly shows that the amount of luxury cars sold in India over the past decade has only been increasing. And in a country where people are going towards the luxury car side and are wanting to spend amount of money for buying luxury cars, if a company comes with once again less expenses, that brand is ought to do really well. And now, last but not the least, reason number 4 for why I think Genesis in India would do really well. Now in this video, if you're sticking around towards the end over here, you know that I have been talking about expenses a lot. Let's actually talk about what a company like Genesis charges for the cars they provide. Like, Genesis really just came out with the G80. That is a car that competes with the Mercedes C-Class or the BMW 5 Series and the Audi A6. And so that car has an expense that is generally $10,000 to $15,000 less expensive in the US market. I mean, if you compare that to Indian rupees, I mean that would be around 7 or 8 lakhs rupees less expensive in the Indian market. And that's not the only expense you give, right? The other expenses are of insurance and maintenance. And I am ruling out the fuel economy over here because the fuel economy of the G80 is some about equal towards its competitors. So I'm just ruling that option out. So if we talk about the maintenance cost of any Genesis car, it's almost a 40% discount of what its competitors are taking. Like, this is just a general guess, don't take my word on it. But for example, if your Mercedes E-Class is getting serviced for around about $900, the Genesis G80 would be serviced for around about $500 or $550. I mean, that is one expense that a lot of people do think about, and if you're getting a 40% discount on that, that's really nice. And the other thing is of insurance. Obviously, when you pay a less price for a car, the insurance premium is also going to come down. So it's not going to be a large difference, but still a difference is there. So in general, Genesis cars are less expensive than any of its counterparts, that is BMW, Mercedes or Audi. And with that said, if Genesis actually does come into India, and like I said, according to my predictions, I think that Genesis would do really well in India. I think that would also affect the other car market. Like, for example, people who are Audi enthusiasts or BMW or Mercedes enthusiasts, that is the people who just like those cars and want to buy that specific brand, I think the price of those brands are also going to come down, because when a competitor comes into the market with less price and a product that actually does compete with theirs, it's but obvious to increase the amount of sales those companies have, they will have to bring their prices down. I mean, so this is actually a win-win situation for everyone. Like, Genesis would be selling their cars out, and on the other hand, the well-known brands like Audi, Mercedes and BMW will also be giving their cars at a lower price. This is a situation that I actually want in India. So I think those reasons all combined together do give a strong impact of why I think Genesis cars would do really well in a market such as India. And so that's all from my side in this video, guys. If once again you want to stay entertained during this lockdown period, consider pressing that red button to subscribe to my channel and get those notifications when I upload a video. Also, if you like this video and agree with me, give this video a thumbs up. Also, comment down below if you also have some other points that you would like to add on, or if there is a point that you would like to state in the comments which actually contradicts mine. I mean, I'm open to suggestions and I would love to communicate with you guys. So leave a comment down below and also share this video as much as you can. Thank you so very much, and I'll see you in the next video.